Okay, so this is another little example of what I'm talking about when we have news anchors and other people kind of glitching out on TV, and some very revealing things that can be found if you do a little digging and have covered a lot of ground with this topic of the possibility of other beings being amongst us. So I'm just going to go ahead and play this.
You need to remind yourself that you need to focus and try not to let stuff bother you as much as possible. But it is going to bother you because you're human, and I was human. I am human still. But I was just referring to myself in the past. Not that I was not human.
I'm human, and I was human. I am human still.
You know, I mean, why would he say that? Why would he say that he used to be human? I was human. That's a little bit too odd. Who would refer to themselves as being in the past tense of being who they truly are? You know, a little odd, a little bit odd. It could also be, again, that these people's consciousness has already been removed from the body, and that, you know, these other entities, demons, whatever they are, could have already taken over the clone body or the actual body of what used to be the human. And so in this next part, we have Serena Williams fumbling around with the ball. It's kind of weird. You know, how often have the Serena sisters / brothers been, you know, world champions in tennis? There's a whole story that came out with Mag Press for Truth or Mag Truth on YouTube, where he breaks it down, where these are actually men, and they do have the body type of men, but it looks like they've had a lot of plastic surgery too. And look, I mean, how can she fail? She's a professional tennis player. How is she fumbling with the ball? It's pretty kind of unbelievable. And I'm sure the crowd is going, wow, what's happened? She might not be the same person, honestly, that used to possess the body. So I mean, look at her. She's just kind of like, she doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know how to play tennis. Just another odd occurrence. Okay, this next one was pretty telling, because if you haven't seen this video of this, you know, little section of this woman and what her eyes do, I had to get this because it's pretty revealing. I mean, who does this? You got to see this. This is crazy. Watch this. I've turned the volume off again so that you can just see what this is about. And I don't want to play anyone else's music and stuff, but here we go. Just watch her eyes. Tell me, is that normal? I'm just going to play it one more time. Just watch her eyes. She a robot? Now they're saying that this is a NASA astronaut who was going to talk about her encounter, and she gets hit by some sort of weapon. It could be, but she starts passing out as soon as she tries to start telling the story.
The preparation we had training the team inside lights.
She passes out, sort of. She doesn't really lose consciousness, but she started glitching out. And then they pick her up and she continues. But as soon as she starts talking again, the same thing happens.
Wife, that's not a little embarrassing. But so I don't get people worried standing up here too long. Think what I was gonna say, and so I figure I could stand here, standing enough. It's a training.
Yeah, so something is happening to this person. We don't know what it is, but again, just something weird. Okay, the next one. This is another one, another celebrity newscast type thing, and he starts glitching out. Okay, so watch this guy. Watch what happens to him. He freezes too, like he's some sort of robot, honestly. It wouldn't surprise me if they've already inserted Neuralink in these people to test the waters for the technology and also use these people as guinea pigs. Here we go.
But it's been a heck of a ride, to be honest. I really can't complain. Yeah, I was kind of I was a little down. I found out I was injured and I had to have surgery again, or with another knee. But at the end of the day, I have amazing teammates. Guys like Draymond, everybody on this team.
We're asking, what in the world is up with Al Roker? And I asked this question with the utmost admiration and affection for Al Roker. I really like the guy. Now, a few days ago on the Today Show, Savannah Guthrie and Matt Lauer were talking about an upcoming performance from Lionel Richie. Savannah Guthrie was saying that Lionel Richie takes her back to the days of junior high school dances. And then this happened.
Will someone do the junior high like this? Real awkward.
That's exactly how you have to have a certain amount of distance between the bodies
exactly.
in your high.
Yes, like they say in Catholic school, leave room for the Holy Ghost. Anyway, there is a lot of memories today, actually. It's a big day in music history.
35 years ago today, Elvis Presley passed away, the king of rock and roll. And as Mark Cohn says in his great song, Walking in Memphis, there's a pretty little thing waiting for the king down in the jungle room. Natalie Morales.
Now, I think they were talking about Elvis, something in the jungle room. I couldn't pay attention because Al Roker just kind of froze like that. He stood completely still with that look on his face for 17 seconds. 17 seconds, that's like a day and a half in live TV time. And I need to know what that was about. We actually do have an explanation for what was up with Al Roker. He says he just wanted to see how long he could hold the pose, and the director kind of egged him on. So it wasn't really a glitch in the matrix after all, as I initially thought. But one thing is for sure, if Al Roker ever shows up in your neck of the woods, whatever you do not challenge him to a staring contest.
Lady Gaga. She looks like she's on drugs.
A little bit closer. If you look at Anne, she's not going to do anything to you.
Love ya.
No, she's weird, but you know what? She's definitely one of them. Okay, so what I have here is another clip, and I'm just going through and I'm finding all these clips to present to you. This is a clip with Mark Zuckerberg in an interview, and he has his jacket, which is a company jacket, and the jacket has a company logo, which is basically a sigil. It's not even the Facebook logo, it's something they made up, and it is a sigil that is working. in the background of his life, but he does get to see it from time to time when he puts on and takes off the jacket, and it works with the subconscious mind. But I want you to see this sigil because I'm going to point out some things to you in regards to it. So this is a magical emblem that he has in his jacket. Watch this.
Yeah,
We're not going to yell at
no, we're, of course not. That is a warm hoodie.
Yeah, no, it's a thick hoodie. It's a company hoodie. We print our mission on the inside.
What?
Oh,
Oh my
really?
God, the inside of the hoodie, everybody. Take a moment. What is it? Making the,
Making the world more open and connected.
oh my God, it's like a secret
Cool.
cult.
She's absolutely right.
Look at that, making the world open and connected, street.
People are laughing, but look, okay, so here we have the sigil. This is a sigil. It has the magic circle. Now, it also has different directions, directional arrows. This is pulling energy out. Now, what I wanted to focus on was the center, for obvious reasons. It has the central star. It's the six-pointed star. It's not for Judaism, y'all. It's not for Jewish works. It is part of Jewish mysticism, but what I've learned about this is that it also represents the atom, the atom. It is the atom, and it is also electric. So I'll have to do another video to explain what this actually is, because these lines actually radiate outwards, and it's an atom. It represents the spiraling vortexes of an atom, but also the Merkaba field, which is also created in our heart chakra. We have a Merkaba field from two opposing pyramids. As you can see, this is a pyramid here, and then another pyramid, which is upside down in opposition of this pyramid. Now, with those two pyramids, what they do, when one spins, the other one's spinning in the opposite direction, and it creates a vortex field. This is what atom is, the atom, ADAM as well. Now, the 2010 symbol, if you can look at this, this is a hexagon, right? So the hexagon, what is this? A hexagon is a representation of it's a 2D representation of a 3D cube. So if you had a line coming down here, going over here, and then one coming straight down the middle, you would then form a cube. So this is the cube of Saturn. Again, Saturn symbolism right in your face. And, look, here's the world. And then they have people. And then they have, what is this, TVs? Yeah, streaming. So this is a sigil. This is a magical symbol. And I'm going to do a video based on this knowledge, because we all can use sigils to our benefit, but they are using sigils, which are symbols, to create magical practices for themselves. We are magical beings. Our minds create our reality. This is something that we have to grasp, people, because if you haven't caught on to this whole consciousness movement that's out here in the world, it's absolutely going to start revealing that our consciousness creates our reality. That's why they're in desperation mode, trying to get us into the Borg before time is up. And I believe 2030 is kind of like the deadline day, the deadline year of all of this transition that they're trying to hurry up and enact on us. They want us into smart cities and smart cars and smart grid and smart everything. Smart means evil. Smart means control. We need to be aware of this. Do not buy a smart anything. It's bad enough that we have smartphones and smart TVs, but it is not smart. It is really one of the dumbest things that we can ever do, is have this technology around us. Not only is it emitting a harmful frequency, but it is also monitoring your every move, wherever you go. Read that book, 1984, and you'll start getting an idea of what's truly happening. But these sigils are serious. I've done sigils myself, and sigils can actually bring things into your life. It is considered a magical practice, but it is all about your subconscious mind and what you wish to create. It's like your intentions coupled with your emotions create your reality. This is what we live in, is a reality where it's quantum field based, is what they call it now, is actually the ether. Back in the old days, in the ancient times, they called it the ether. And it's this field of energy that exists all around us. And we live in a frequency soup. So these types of things go in because our mind is always creating. As we traverse our day, we are creating fields of energy wherever we go. And this kind of thing can make stuff happen. Absolutely. I've done this. It works, but it may not work 100% to the way, you know, your expectations might be, but it does work. And it is not dark magic practice, but this one is probably not for our benefit. Just to let you know, usually anything that they do is dark magic because it works against us, not for us. And as you can see, they're pulling in this energy. That's what this does. These arrows are directional. So they want to pull in this frequency, whatever their intention was when they made this drawing. Now, Mark Zuckerberg, he may know something about this. I got a sense that he probably does know something about sigil magic and things of that nature because he is in the dark field of this whole world. But, did he make this one? Probably not. Someone probably made this and told him to wear this jacket and that it would help manifest the things that they wish to see. And these look like, this is Black Mirror TVs, it looks like, and they're pulling that in, or it could be computer monitors or something, but they're pulling this in. See, this energy is all directional. So it's like going out in the cosmos. These also look like little houses. If you notice, it looks like a little house, but this energy is pulling in. And 2010 was their goal for whatever intention they had. Now, also what we have here is numerology. And numerology, look, if you took away the 0 here, you would have 201. Event 201 was another event where they were planning this pandemic that we're experiencing in the world right now. And I'll have to do another video on that, but these are absolutely magical symbols and things because they react with our subconscious mind, even if we do not know the meaning behind a star or behind a cube. These things are known throughout the collective consciousness. Even if you are not, consciously aware of it, it is absolutely a collective consciousness thing. And it will create from the ether a reality that they wish to see. So we're going to keep moving because I can keep going on all the symbolism stuff, but we need to keep moving. So let's see what else she says. This woman's spot on. She's like, you're with the Illuminati.
Same graph platform and this weird symbol in the middle that is probably for the Illuminati. Oh, 2010.
No, it's 2010.
Oh, no. This weird symbol in the middle that is probably for the Illuminati.
It is.
Oh my God, it's like a secret cult.
See, somebody is like, they're pulling it out for you. See, you see all of the pyramids. So again, this is the Merkaba. This is the opposing pyramids that pull in energy. This one's upright, pointing upwards, and this one is pointing downwards, okay? But there's also the one in the middle that is also, it's opposing pyramids, and no matter which direction you put it. And then you could probably make pyramids with this whole thing. They were literally everywhere, all over this. But then in the center, you have the cube. If there were a line here to this point that doesn't exist, that you can't see, and then here to here and down there, that would be a cube. It's the cube of Saturn. So I'll be doing Saturn. I'll cover Saturn in another video. But this one is like, wow. I mean, when I saw it, I'm telling you, you guys have got to start looking at Jordan Maxwell's work. He will to get you on this trail of seeing all these signs and symbols. They're all around us. They're everywhere, literally. They're using them in the logos. The logos is actually the word, the sound, but the logos is also the logo that they use for, car dealerships and things of that nature, and corporations, all this stuff. It has magical abilities.
This weird symbol in the middle that is probably for the Illuminati. Oh my God, it's like a secret cult.
People of Australia and of our show, we were very empathetic about
Now, here
what
we
happened,
go.
very
This
sort of
is another
horrified.
glitch.
And so we were wondering,
I'm not sure what
how
happens
is
to
everyone
her.
going? How's Kim doing?
What? Okay.
I'm sorry, is there someone talking to you?
Yes, sorry.
Sorry about that. So I just was wondering
They
how
just
everyone's
came
doing.
in.
Hello, Courtney. Have we lost you?
Well, a very, very heavy rotation tonight. We had a very Darrison, but let's go ahead, Terrace English for the bit, to have the pit. We had a very Darrison, but let's go ahead, Terrace English for the bit. To have the pet. I'm sorry. I was in a trance.
Yeah, wipe the drool there. Yeah, it's a difficult title. It's a good day to die.
But I suppose it's because you had kind of a good day, and if you would have died, well, so be it. Is that it?
That's right. That's a good explanation. Have a sandwich, and let's go shopping. Die hard.
That would have been your chosen time.
Well, it's about, it makes about as much sense. A good, or maybe there is a good day to die hard.
Yeah. I said it was.
It's pretty rough. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Weird. Hello. Oh my goodness. Hello. Ew. Strong brainy. Yeah, it was a weird. Ew. I'm embarrassed. Can we?
They say that Brittany shaved off her hair because she shaves her hair
Star shaving her
because
own
she said apparently, somebody had said that she didn't want them touching her anymore.
To introduce Marshall Mathers. Some of you may know him as Eminem, but he's going to join the Saturday night crew with our music intro starting next Saturday night. But folks, I want to take you to the world premiere of one of his new videos called Berserk. Take a listen. It's headed for the top of the charts. Was that the great Rick Rubin who was helping produce that with you, Marshall, when you did that? Yes, sorry. Live TV. Live TV freaks me out a little bit. No. Yes, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Tell me this is normal. Watch the news reporter's face that's holding the phone right there. The girl with the blonde curly hair.
Gotta try the cold chai.
Look at her face. She's a little concerned.
In every way. And I was very proud of her. You guys have got to try the cold chai.
I've had it.
Something wrong, I don't think we're dealing with humans, y'all, or maybe they're just some of the Neuralink test
This is
subjects.
a video of Hillary Clinton fainting in 2012.
Just please don't. Okay.
Hillary Clinton glitching out again.
Sorry, guys.
This is.
Genius have requested that students stay in your seats.
Yeah, so Hillary faints after a ceremony.
In covertly recorded off-air transmissions from the Bush-Clinton presidential election campaign in the 1990s,
Here's another
we can
example.
see that Bill Clinton was nothing more than a puppet to the puppet masters which placed him in the White House. Bill Clinton's demeanor seems to be similar to a person who is under a hypnotic trance.
Yeah, either that or implants, It's some sort of mind control. They do have this, and they've been practicing mind control tactics for a long time. And all these psychic, experiments.
Remember that every single man,
there's a
woman,
lot.
and child in the state of South Carolina awakens to a freer, safer world.
They can control you, absolutely. Not just with hypnosis.
I would remind people that every single morning we all awaken to a safer, freer world because of George Bush.
The most basic form of mind
Nicole,
control
I would
is repetition.
remind you, as people of Florence, that all of us awaken every single day to a freer, safer world because of George Bush. They themselves awaken every single day to a freer, safer world because of George.
This is unreal. I'm supposed to start talking. I'm sorry, I'm sick. On behalf of this fearless and talented cast, we would like to thank, oh, it's so heavy.
Winona starts acting a little
Netflix,
weird.
Sean, Matt, Ross, and the amazing casting director, Carmen Cuba. And I would just like to say that in light of all that's going on in the world today, it's difficult
know
to
if that's
celebrate
her
the already
handler
celebrated
right
Stranger
behind
Things.
her,
But this
'cause
award from
this
you,
guy's
who
holding
take
on
your
to her.
craft
Her eyes are
seriously
just-
and earnestly believe, like me, that great acting can change the world, is a call to arms from our fellow craftsmen and
She
women
looks
to go
confused.
deeper and through our art to battle against fear, self-centeredness, and exclusivity.
She looks
of
like
our
she doesn't even
predominantly
know where she is.
narcissistic culture, and through our craft to cultivate a more empathetic and understanding society by revealing intimate truths that serve as a forceful reminder to folks that when they feel broken and afraid and tired, they are not alone. We are united in that we are all human beings and we are all together on this horrible, painful, joyous, exciting, and mysterious ride that is being alive. Now, as we act in the continuing narrative of Stranger Things, we 1983 Midwesters will
I've
repel
personally been around
bullies.
Winona
We
when
will
filming
shelter
Stranger Things.
freaks.
I can personally say that Winona Ryder there's something bothering Winona Ryder. She had some, I don't know, you could just tell in her personality that she wasn't like what she was, in earlier years in her career, but she seemed sort of reclusive. She wasn't very outgoing, is what I noticed. So there's definitely something bothering her, troubling her in her life. And I figured it was just, life stuff, but I don't know, you can be around these actors and then you're just like, wow, you get to know them a little bit, and the real actor behind the act, so to speak. It's a different world. And yeah, I guess that's why I was there, to get a little insight into some of these things. Another glitch.
To join Florida's suit, the state claiming the exorcist saw unto Sracho and play Bringritz by health urgent.
Minister McLeod did confirm today that more than 54 18 fighter jets are spending about as much as 20 and ready to assist the 100 deployed over the amount needed. Now, it did depend that how the NOLAN remerges RN, while the university or the UN mission as whole received support from all batteries in the hues of the garbins of today. Excuse me.
Okay, this next newscast is pretty compelling for what might be reptilian. This guy is having a debate with another news anchor. They're talking about bacon, and it's just news about bacon, but then they start getting in this debate about China and the bacon that comes possibly from China or whatever, and them doing things to the bacon. But here, this guy gets worked up, and his reaction, I can't say that it's quite normal. So let's just watch this.
We can't buy them. We're not allowed to buy
We're not going to
China.
buy anything from. We're not bringing any pork over from China.
How do you know why wouldn't they do that?
Because they're going to demand more pork from us. This is going to be the greatest.
So we
thing
won't
for
have
American-
any pork.
We may be shorter of pork than we were, of course.
Oh, and that doesn't bother you.
No, it doesn't, because American farm income is going to go up. It's going to be a great thing for
They
the
might sell.
economy.
They might use it as an entry to exporting chicken to us, which would be,
No, we will be exporting chicken to the Chinese.
Can we buy a Chinese firm?
No, not right now.
Then why should they buy one of ours?
Why not?
Because we
Serve
can't
the-
buy one of theirs.
it served
Open
the
up the
shareholders
market.
very,
Quid
very
pro
well.
quo,
Yes,
Clarice.
we have-
Quo,
yes,
Clarice.
we have-
Clarice.
we have-
Quo, Clarice.
Yeah, tell me that's normal. Who hisses when they get angry and worked up emotionally? Here's another reporter. This one gets pretty weird too.
Suffering from a major psychological disorder, and that it might actually be bipolar. Could be that. The doctor predicts how much longer they'll live. Sick, I know, but I also know you want to hear what she has to say. The doc says if these people don't get help or straighten
What
up
is
fast,
happening to her
I haven't
face?
read any of this. Brittany won't make it to the age
Look
30.
at the
Lindsay won't
rest
see
of her
25,
body.
and Michael
It's not
Jackson
doing
has no more
anything.
than 5 years left.
Why is her
At
face
the other end,
changing?
Angelina's going to have a long, healthy life, and so will George
No
Bush
other
and
part of
Richie.
the-
if you're not already,
the
why
cast
you're
is
yelling in the
changing.
booth. Sick, I know, but I also know you want to hear what she has to say.
Just
The
look at
doc
this.
says
On
if these
like,
people don't get
why
help or straighten
aren't
up
other
fast,
parts
I haven't
of
read any of this. Brittany won't make it
the
to the age 30.
video
Lindsay won't see 25, and Michael Jackson has
glitching
no more
out?
than 5 years left. At the other end, Angelina's going to have a long, healthy life, and so will George Bush and Nicole Richie. If you're already in
It's almost as if, there's something that's breaking down in the matrix here. What is happening? We need some frequency machines, y'all. We need some frequency devices that can see these things.
Y'all don't want to lose again.
Y'all remember this?
A lot of people here tonight felt like they lost. You know why? Because y'all been lied to.
This guy was telling the truth.
Google lied to you. Facebook lied to
He
you.
woke up.
Radio lied to you. Radio fucked you. I am putting my career, my life, my public well-standing at risk when I talk to y'all like this. This is a moment in the matrix, bro. The vibes is back.
Yeah, he somehow got out of his mind control.
I ain't here to massage you with a fake truth. We are all great people. We are all equal. But sometimes we be playing the politics too much and forgetting who we are. Just to win. Fuck winning. Fuck looking cool. Fuck looking cool. Fuck being cool. Fuck all that, bro. I've been sent here to give y'all my truth, even at the risk of my own life, even at the risk of my own success, my own career. I've been sent here to give y'all the truth. Jay-Z, call me, bro. You still ain't called me. Jay-Z, call me. Hey, bro, Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them out my head. Just call me. Talk to me like a man.
We need more of them to step up like this, and I sure wish they would. We'd have so much more
Just friends,
information.
and it's a good man. Doing well, long time. We've been friends for a long time. Life, we discussed it.
I have no comment about your meeting with the president-elect. Is the president-elect of the United States nothing to say?
I just want to take a picture right now.
Kanye back in mind control. Okay, so in this clip, we have George Bush Sr. and his eyes they're kind of doing something a little weird, especially the left one, which would be on the right of your screen. But the left eye has a flash that happens and doesn't seem to be quite normal. Even, with myself working on a film set, those lights are usually stationary. Like they don't move the lights around because it would change all the shadow angles and things. But this light flashes in his left eye and on his pupil. And it's just a little odd as to why it would happen, but there's some more compelling evidence after this little shot. So watch this. See, that doesn't normally happen. You don't normally get a brighter light source just all of a sudden shining like that. I'm glad that people are actually, looking closer and deeper into this whole thing, the possibilities and potentials of these entities, whatever they may be. They could be reptilian. I don't know. But yeah, let me show you the rest of this because it gets kind of compelling. Okay, so watch this now. This is where it's like, okay, what causes this? Keep watching the left eye. There's just some interesting things about it. What is that? That doesn't normally happen. That little flash of light doesn't normally happen. That little flash of light just doesn't happen, even in a Hollywood studio. Okay, now here's another part of another video that I've seen actually. And this guy, I don't know where he is in the Philippines or somewhere, but he starts eating glass. But just look closely at his eyes. Now, again, if you're in a studio setting, there's usually a couple of different light sources. So let's pay attention to the lighting on his face. He's just eating glass as if it's nothing. But his eyes, again, it could be two different light sources, one on the left and right. But you can see that his right side is more in shadow. He's more in shadow on this side than he is on the other side. Okay, so this next interview is from Fritz Springmeier. He says some very compelling things towards the end of his interview in regards to this. Now, he's been hands-on with some of these abductees, UFO abductees and stuff. And, he's obviously got a lot more experience in all of this with the MK Ultra mind control victims, as well as he starts going on about them being able to download the consciousness. So this interview is highly needed in our society. This interview is very important in our society right now. And we need to be listening to people like this so that we can get the message out. And if you guys can just start sharing this information It doesn't have to be my videos. Just do your own research, share as much as possible. We've got a lot of work to do, and we've got to catch up with the truth because the truth is coming. But the faster we dig, the more we dig, and the more frequently we dig, the faster we can push for truth and move forward and have something done in regards to these entities that are all around us that we are unaware of.
Creatures that we hear about all these alien races, and we hear about fallen angels and archons and Nephilim and demons, and what are these things? And so I have been asking myself this very same question. You know, it's a good question, $1 million question. The thing that's a little, I don't know, maybe you might say unnerving, but if you look at Sir John Dee, he was the chief advisor for Queen Elizabeth and the top magician in England in 1580s. And he conjured up, using magic, he conjured up a spirit or a demon that looks exactly like a gray alien. And then there's been throughout history, other people that have used magic and they've gotten something that looks like a gray alien. So this gives me a strong clue that maybe these gray aliens are not really aliens in the terms of, and I have a tape recording of this one alien speaking, and he said, I've been here on Earth for like 500,000 years, you know, and I'm like, okay, you know, when do we quit calling them aliens? They've been here longer than us. We're more alien than them. I mean, they've been here longer than us. You know, I've got a lot of information, but I still ask myself, you know, because the grays, as I constantly get information in that the grays are like manufactured, the small grays are manufactured in factories. You know, they have a hive mind that's computer run and everything. And so those sound very much like something that's actually biologically alive and not a demon that's conjured. So what is it that, why would Sir John Dee, you know, conjure up a demon like that? Or did he not conjure it up and somehow the gray alien came to him and he just said that he conjured it up? I don't know. It's a mystery to me too, because could it be that what Sir John Dee created is, even though it looks like a gray alien, is different than the gray aliens that are being produced now? And who is producing these gray aliens? Is it the tall grays, or is it like some secret government? I don't know. These are all, you know, and I can tell you what different people have told me, what different witnesses, and yet at what point I don't know what to do with a lot of the testimony people have given me. I will share some of this, which I haven't done before, because I don't know how to sort it out myself. It's like Phil Snyder that I mentioned today. Phil said that he had been in the underground. Okay, but when I started working with Phil, and Cisco and I started working with him, we actually realized he was a program multiple personality. So everything that he said is not necessarily truth. It may be programming. In fact, he was all over the place. He would say, my father was this, my father was that. He was all over the place. So he was mixed up on a lot of facts. So what was truth and what was programming, and what were programmed lies and who knows what. But we started to break down his programming and get to his deeper Illuminati altars. And then he was to come over to my house. And the day before he was to come over to my house, they killed him. Now, at the time, I didn't want to say anything to anyone because I thought, one, people would think I was being like kind of proud or something to say, well, he got killed because of me. But two, I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to think people thought that he got killed because of me. So I didn't talk about it. I was just like dumbfounded, oh boy, here was somebody who I was making a friendship with, a whistleblower that probably knew something because it appeared like he had some evidence that he had been in the deep underground military bases, and he could pull off of his shirt, and he had a huge scar down here, which he said that he got in a laser flight down in the dumb base there at Dulce. He was on a deeper level where the aliens were, and he got into a fight with the laser guns, and everybody else with him got killed except for him, and he got badly shot up. That's what he said. Is that true or not? I don't know. Why was he killed? Was he killed because Cisco and I were breaking into his deeper parts of his mind that were secret? Or was he killed because he was talking about the deep underground military bases? Was he killed because they thought he would talk something that they didn't want me to find out? Who knows? These are questions I don't know. Bill's handler was naval intelligence. That was Ron Rummel. And Ron Rummel was naval intelligence, would come to my house secretly. And then he told me that the big secret was that there were aliens living under the ground in underground bases. He said that was the big secret. And
that were underground bases, but not the underground cities.
Underground cities, underground bases.
But
Yes.
were they man-made or were they in some way natural?
Both. Yeah,
Okay.
Some of them were actually caverns. And so this is what he told me was the big secret. Okay, and then I had a big trip planned because I had been doing all this research, and I had a trip planned with my family. And I mean, my family had to have a lot of patience because I was always gone researching, writing, blah, blah. So I could not change plans. I mean, I had to go on this vacation with them to family reunions and other things. And so the afternoon before I'm to leave, Ron Rummel runs over to my house secretly. He says, they're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. Here, take this suitcase. They're going to kill me. So while I was on the trip, they killed him. So why did they kill him? I don't know. Was the things he was telling me about underground bases and aliens living in caverns and underground true? Or did they kill him for another reason? I don't know. As far as I know, that was about all that he talked about. So I don't know why they would have killed him for any other reason except that. I don't know.
Was it long ago?
Pardon me?
Was it long ago? When did it happen?
1993. So it happened in July 1993. So yeah, I've been at this for a while. Let's see some of the other things. Some people that I interviewed that had been supposedly abducted by aliens, it was obvious that they were just under human mind control. And I think that they were either abducted by humans and told that the humans told them more aliens just to cover up what the humans did.
So the Mila project.
Pardon?
Mila project.
Yeah, this kind of stuff. And I got the distinct impression from this one army guy that we're dealing with some heavy duty alien races, but a number of people just like they know that they're gonna die and they say, okay, I wanna confess what I know, and it's like, okay, we really do have aliens because I saw them when I was in the space, whatever. So they come across like, you know, this is something they want to get off their chest. They want to unburden themselves. You know, in the United States, they consider deathbed confessions to be true, you know, and so these are almost like that. So you're like, you know, when people are on their way out and they're old and they know they're going to die soon, they usually tend to tell the truth. I mean, why would you want to make up a lie at that age? You're not even going to be around for the fun of the lie, you know. I mean, why even bother when you're old and ready to die to make up some lie? You know, so you have to believe them, okay? But what do they know? Maybe they think that they're aliens, but they're really demons. You know, and since I'm a Christian, I would rather use the language of the Bible and just say these are fallen angels and demons.
Which were God creations then, which decided to separate from God and be independent from God.
Right. Well, and the other thing is every alien race that I can learn anything about is evil, evil, evil. Aren't any good ones. So, you know, and you know, so Illuminati say, okay, they're interacting with aliens, right? Well, why? What kind of race would interact with these sociopaths, psychopaths? Obviously, an evil batch, whether they're angels or archons or what, they must be evil. So if they're evil, I'm just rather just label them demons and fallen angels, you know. I mean, so I don't know. I don't have any definitive answers, but like today when I discussed it, I think the safest thing is just to call them all fallen angels and demons. Mm-hmm. Definitely they're evil. They don't have anything positive for mankind. Even the ones that appear like they're here to help us, they're not. And if you give them a good name, that's just setting us up for trouble. Well, just what are we working with here, you know? And then David Icke says, okay, these people are shape-shifting, they're reptilians, they're shape-shifting. And I don't know exactly what to do with that concept either, because like the people I worked with that were getting out of the Illuminati, they were definitely just people. They weren't shapeshifters. Mm-hmm. And so I can categorically say I know that not everybody in the Illuminati is some pseudo person that's actually a reptilian that shapeshifts. But I'm not totally convinced. I mean, I've looked at some film of some of these people. If they're not shape-shifting, I don't understand what's happening then. It definitely looks like every now and then some of these people shape-shift. It's really scary. Have you seen the scenes? You seen the film? Oh, yeah. They're like filming somebody, and you watch their eyes, and their eyes shift reptilian. Well, that is not contact lenses. No, and then their tongues come out, and they've got snake tongues. Yeah. So that gives a lot of credibility to what David Icke is saying. That these they're just pretending. In fact, I look at Obama sometimes. He doesn't look human to me.
By intuition, do you mean that this is what your intuition
Well, a
tells you?
combination, intuition, or just looking. There's something about him that is just creepy that doesn't look human. He's just got a cold bloodedness. It's almost like you're seeing something reptilian there. Yeah, if I was a betting person, just had to bet, I would bet that he's not human, but. So, yeah, I give credibility to the concept that there are reptilians. I just don't know how many there are. I can't buy into the idea that all in the Illuminati are. But there may be some. Or are we looking at like doubles? Like, is it possible that there's a Queen of England who's a person, and then there's a reptilian that pretends to be the Queen of England?
And do you mean clones by saying doubles, or other people that pretend to?
Just doubles from somebody. I know that they have the ability to make robotoids. I know they have the ability to make clones. I know they have the ability to take people and like do plastic surgery and make doubles that way. So yeah, I don't know. Again, you're left with the question of which way did they go making this? You know, they recently came out with, in fact, I just did an article, which is really, it was an article explaining how they're able to take consciousness. Well, I was like, whoa, they just explained how they've been doing with the robotoids 20 years ago. They were making robotoids, but then they would have to download the consciousness of the person that they were going to make a copy so that they could put that mind into the robotoid, right? But the robotoids that they were making like back in the 80s only had a lifespan of like a couple months. They didn't live very long. But they were putting their consciousness into them. And they just recently, there was some scientific paper that I had someone send me, and they're explaining how they're taking the consciousness. Like, whoa.
Of people to put them in a robot then, with some mind control techniques or with neural techniques?
That just downloaded into the robotoid's mind. And the article was saying that they're doing this so that they can put human minds into robots.
Creepy.
Yeah, creepy. But yeah, they were. What we're seeing is technology that they had 20 years ago. Now they're releasing and saying they just discovered this stuff.
So it means that the technology that they have now is way more advanced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they're releasing it to us about 20 years behind.
This is just another newscast in regards to someone talking about reptilians. Now, let's just see what this has to say.
Possible for the blast, Anthony Warner mailed a package to someone in Murfreesboro just days before the bombing. That man immediately turned it over to the FBI. Investigative reporter Ben Hall shares exclusive details about what was inside.
This nondescript package was postmarked December 23rd, 2 days before the bombing. It had no return address, but the rambling pages inside left no doubt who it was from. Hey, dude, you will never believe what I found in the park, reads a cover letter to one of Warner's longtime friends. It was signed by Julio, a name Warner's friends say he often used when sending them emails. It continued, the knowledge I have gained is immeasurable. I now understand everything, and I mean everything, from what we really are to what the known universe really is. The letter urged the friend to watch some internet videos he included on 2 Samsung thumb drives. On another page, Warner wrote about 9/11 conspiracy theories, ending with the statement that the moon landing and 9/11 have so many anomalies they are hard to count. Warner later wrote that September 2011 was supposed to be the end game for the planet, because that's when he says aliens and UFOs began launching attacks on Earth. He believed the media was covering up those attacks. But Warner's writings grow even more bizarre. At one point, he writes to his friend about reptilians and lizard people that he believed control Earth and had tweaked human DNA. Warner wrote, they put a switch into the human brain so they could walk among us and appear human.
Okay, so this is some footage of one of the sculptures that's in Frogner Park. This is in Oslo, Norway, and it's called Vigeland Park as well. It's better known as Frogner Park, and it has some really strange occult sculptures that are everywhere throughout the gardens there. So this is just one tower sculpture, and it's just piles and piles of bodies. It kind of tells a story, you know, of its own. But there's tons and tons, like just hundreds of human sculptures, which seem benign at first, you know. The children are riding, assuming that's their mother. They're riding their mother, you know. And this is reminiscent of, like, you know, a pig or something, where all the little piglets are vying for a position under their mother to suckle. I mean, I don't know. It's just. A lot of it, as again, seems benign on its surface. But when I get to the other parts of it, it just gets a little weird. And like, I'm not even showing half of it. Okay, so here's one of them. What the heck is this? What is that? You know, they show this thing. It's a serpent. Okay, it's a serpent. Its exoskeleton thing is armor plated, almost like an alligator type of thing. But see, this is obviously a shoulder here. It has a very long neck. It is biting the neck of the woman, which would indicate that it is parasitic in nature and vampiric as well. So let's see if we get the whole footage here. It's holding on to its victim. And as you can see, it doesn't have any other appendages. It's like a body with two arm type things, and it's grasping onto its victim. And, you know, it's just weird. That's the big column with all the people. Okay, so here we have Frogner Park, also known as Vigeland Park in Oslo, Norway. And it has some interesting sculptures that are kind of questionable. So on the gates of the, I guess it's the entrance to the park, they do have some serpentine types of ornamental iron gates, you know, on display when you approach the park, I guess. Now, here's another part of the park. Again, a serpent. You know, it's obviously trying to bite the man. You know, we've heard about the tales of dragons and things in the past, in ancient times, and they always want us to believe that that kind of thing was a myth. but I believe there's some evidence that's starting to arise to prove otherwise, that these things were actually real, and that these things were actually real. So we're just going to review some of the images from this park, because I found this years ago in my quest for knowledge. I just found the strangest things the most fascinating. So I'm not sure if it's supposed to be an archon. These things do appear to be, you know, wanting to take possession of the humans. I mean, you can see he's got his feet tied. The man is, I guess he's giving up. You know, this thing is possibly about to bite him. We don't know what the story is. Now this one, again, you know, they're binding the feet of these humans, but they seem to be always aiming for the head. What does it mean? Well, you know, anyone's guess here. Okay, here's another one. And this is a couple of different entities, these things, whatever they are. Again, you know, one is going for the head. The other one, I'm not sure if it's biting the human or not, but their eyes are just lifeless. And these are just reliefs that are obviously on the metal gate, because that was a hinge that was there. Now this woman looks like she is, you know, this thing's got a hold of her and her baby. It's taking her baby from her, and she's trying to get the baby back. Yeah, this is on the door. What does it mean? What, you know, who made this stuff? It doesn't make any sense, does it? I mean, this thing is like grabbing on to the people. It's about to eat the baby. We've got some very questionable things in the world, guys. Very highly questionable. These things are just toying with the humans. This person must be passed out or something. I don't even know. I mean, look at how many different positions they have. But they're definitely telling you this. The humans are not in control. You know, look, this one's got a little embryo of a human in here or something. That's what it looks like. Something's going on here. These things are in control, because you don't see any of the humans overpowering these things. It's quite the opposite. It is. It's a tiny human embryo. The snake is, it's almost like it's, you know, cuddling it. Okay, here is this again. This statue is obviously up on a tower. This is the another image of one of those serpentine things. This serpent has arms, and it's just kind of confusing, but it is totally taking over the body of the person. Like, this person can't get away. It's coiled up. The tail is wrapping around the human, and the thing is biting the neck and I guess sucking the blood out of her, you know. Let's just think about this. What are we looking at? Like, why are they putting this symbolism out there? Why would you have that in a park that is obviously going to have children present? And, you know, just why aren't people questioning these things? Like, why would they put this reptilian statue that overtakes humans in a park? It's obviously not the entire theme of the park, but it's almost as if whoever built this park is, you know, I wouldn't say worshiping humans. It's more like a garden. It's a garden for humans, like the Garden of Eden, you know. It's a garden to have humans, because all the humans are naked, most of them anyway. This woman has a dress on, which is interesting, while all the other statues are absolutely naked, even the babies. So why? I mean, is this meaning that this woman is a political figure and she's a person of power? And that's why she's wearing clothes, and all the other people are serfs and slaves, and they are just, you know, carousing in the garden while they await their destiny, which is, you know, who knows, whatever their fate is in the garden. There's some symbolism here. We have to start looking at this. And I know I say that a lot, you know, that we have to do this and that, but you know, it's compelling, very compelling. Why? Why this? What is this? What are we looking at? Okay, so here's the next statue. It's on a column. They obviously put them up high so that people can't really closely examine what we're looking at. They're like high up on a pedestal. They're high up on a pedestal, and again, these, you know, reptilian, it's totally taking control of the human. It's overpowered the human. It is feasting on the human. Not something that you would think of when you go to a public park to view artistic sculptures. And there's hundreds of sculptures. So that means that there's a lot of money involved. People don't think about these kinds of things, that, you know, it takes a lot of casting and molding and doing all this. Who's making these? Who made these sculptures? Who got commissioned to do this? What group of people, or what one person? Here's just some more images. This woman looks like she's swimming. You know, what is this? I guess this is supposed to be trees. Not real sure. Looks like broccoli, you know, but it also looks like weird trees. Primordial ooze. I don't know. Here we have another statue, and see again, once again, they put these reptilians way high up on pedestals. You know, what do you do when you put something on a pedestal? You're actually putting it in reverence, really, you know? That's what I think of when something's that high up on a pedestal. But I also feel like they don't want people to look deeper into these images. You know, what are they looking at? Well, you know, they don't really want people to observe it too much. Don't stare at it too long, because it's too high. So your neck's going to get a crick if you're just sitting there looking up at this thing for too long. And so, yeah, this is suspicious, I would say. Not just interesting. It's suspicious. And the thing has got him, I guess is biting him right at the neck again. You know, we've seen vampire movies and stuff. I think we're looking at the real vampire, is like these serpent being things. The Naga, you know, the Naga are in India, the Naga stories. So this thing's got a firm grip on this very strong man. And he's got his tail all wound around, you know, not going to let the human go. Here's another side view. You know, it's got the hands are bound. And these are actually the arms of the reptilian being, and it has fingers apparently, and it is grabbing the arms of this human. Look at that. Look at that thing. What is this? Look at that thing. Look at its eye. Is this what the Naga was, you know, in India? Is this Quetzalcoatl? It doesn't seem to have feathers, though. Quetzalcoatl supposedly was a feathered serpent. And this thing, look at its eye. It just looks like, you know, it definitely has no emotion. It's just there to feed, I guess. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. Komodo dragon is about the only thing that comes close, but Komodo dragon doesn't have a snake-like body either. Serpent in the garden, I guess it's just the message you can get from this. Okay, so, and here we have, I don't even know what that is. I don't know if the person can't get close enough to maybe get a better shot of it, but it looks like a miniature version of those things. Okay, there's a closer version of it. What is that? You know what came to mind just now looking at this? This is kind of like a lion nose, you know, and then it has, I guess it's got like teeth. And the face, like this head is different from those other ones. So this one looks like Yaldabaoth, the one that's described in the Pistis Sophia teachings in Gnosticism. And yeah, so it's completely different though. It looks like it has some claws on as feet, I guess. Because there's another one over here, and the other things didn't have that. Those other things didn't have, they just had the tail, and they didn't have claws on the end of the tail. And this thing has the head of a lion almost, you know, because the forward facing eyes, it has a snoot and it has the nose, and then you can't tell if it has a bunch of fangs or, you know, what's here. Let's see if we've got another image. Okay, looks like a saber-toothed tiger, right? Remember the saber-toothed tiger? That's kind of what that is. What if those heads that they found with those, what they called tigers, you know, teeth and everything, what if it was this thing? Because they confuddle all of the bones too that they find in all of these cases where they're digging up things in archaeology digs. They put different things together to create things. I mean, this thing to me looks like a saber-toothed tiger. Yeah, I think we need to review all that stuff and maybe get the DNA analysis, and then we would know. But it's obviously attacking the person. It's got some crazy looking feet. I'm not sure what kind of claws it might have, but it's got some, is it just 2 toes, or has it got 3, you know, almost like chicken feet? Oh, you know, another thing that just popped into my head, I mean, it's like genetic modification, you know, altering genes, creating different kinds of chimera, just splicing, making hybrids. This comes to mind when I look at this. This is crazy looking. That's not a tiger. And there's that thing again. See, look at this thing. The person doesn't look distraught too much. So what does that mean? I guess they're under a hypnotic spell, or, you know, maybe they're already just subdued, kind of like, you know, a spider to a fly kind of thing, where they've already been injected with something, and so they just sit there and take it. Because this person doesn't seem to be in anguish or fear. Maybe they're already dead, or about, you know, obviously about to die, because this thing is like about to suck the blood out of it. This is the backside of that other thing, the one with the cat-looking creature. And it's obviously some sort of animal, but what sort of animal has this kind of, it's almost like an armor. It's not even, that's not even fur, you know?